be starting to be like, okay, build Slack, but make up your own version why it's like in a different use case or a different way or things like that. And so I think we'll probably have some mix of, half of the things being things where I'm telling them what to build, and then more where they're starting to come up with their own ideas to go build too. Yeah, so I'm really excited about it, and would love your help still getting the word out to other people. I want as many people to sign up as possible, so that we can get as many people to take it as possible. I've got a few other really interesting people, just as friends, signed up to help me teach it. One of them is Eric Hennenhofer, who's been in many of our classes. You might have seen him. He's really smart. He's really helpful. And then also Andrew Busey, a really great serial entrepreneur and founder and investor, who also needs some help too. So we'll have a few people helping. So that's next semester. This weekend, my family was kind of like all away, and I was home by myself, and I probably should have been doing something else, but I decided I was going to go do some vibe coding and build something. I don't think I've gotten a chance to tell you all my story here in the class, but I have a computer science degree, and I graduated in 1999. Object-oriented programming was very big. Java was like the rage. That was like a big deal. There was that was like continuous integration and like GitHub being online were both like kind of new and cool, but not everybody did that. And so I've been programming a really long time, and was never a really good programmer anyway. So I decided I really wanted to build an app. There was an app that I just wanted to have, and I kind of couldn't believe it didn't exist. And I don't think you ever used a flight tracker app on your phone to like track flights, or like looking for your flight to see when it's coming. There's a lot of those actually, which is why I thought there'd be a lot of Apple TV apps, which is what I wanted. But most of them, if you look at them, most of the flight trackers are really designed for pilots. They're like all these pilot features. It's really not my use case. I'm actually just want to like track my flight. Like when my flight's late, I want to know like when it's actually going to get there, so I know when to leave the airport. Actually, a lot of times I'm like waiting for people to come from the airport that I can do a pickup, so I want to pick them up. And so I was like, I just want to put the flight tracker on the screen so I can just like watch the plane and like know when it lands. Because probably if I'm going to pick somebody up, like right about the time the plane lands, so I should go like leave to go pick them up. And so I'm thinking there's going to be a flight tracker. And I go search the app store, and there's like one flight tracker app. I think it's called Flight Buddy or something. So I'm like, oh, there's not even like the most popular apps for your phone, which I like is like Flight Aware is the one I like the best. I'm amazed they don't have an Apple TV. Nobody has Apple TV apps. So I load up this one, and it kind of does the right thing. Like it looks about right, and it kind of worked at first, and then it just kind of stopped working. It's just like really unreliable. It's buggy. Like I put in flight numbers, and they don't come up. It doesn't show me flights. It's really pretty basic. So then it just wasn't working. So I'm like, I'm gonna build an Apple TV app that does my flight tracker. And I didn't even use Replit or Rumble. I just did this in ChatGPT. So I probably would have been easier other ways, and Xcode. But I just went in and I told it what I wanted to do, and I wanted to make an Apple TV app, and I only knew this from Gauntlet. I was like, make a PRD, and then I had it start building it kind of bit by bit, and I've got a pretty good working app right now. It basically does like, you come in and it's like you can either search for a specific flight number, you hit nearby, and it'll show you like all the flights that are landing at the airport right now, which is really useful for testing in actuality. They're all landing within the next like 15 minutes, which is probably not that useful. And then I'm just adding a feature right now where you can click like airports and then go to Austin and then see all the airlines that are here, like more like drill down, like find a flight that you're looking for, which I think would be easier for a lot of people. But when you actually pick a flight, you pick it and it opens up and there's a map, and you can see where the flight took off from and where it's landing. There's a line between them. You can see the plane. It's very slowly moving, and there's a little outline, so a little just output. It's like altitude, airline, flight number, height, depth, speed, and when it's supposed to arrive. I'm about to add a thing where it's going to like tell you like based on Apple Maps like the time to drive from you to the airport. It's like when you need to leave to go pick it up. Yeah, it's all like I'm like super proud of myself. It's all kind of like totally, worst things I want to add, but like it's totally working. And I've like never built any kind of a app using a GUI for like the PC or anything, and have not coded in a really long time, and have like so I just found that whole experience. It was super fun. It still was a lot like old coding, which was a lot of like banging your head against the wall, like try something and it doesn't work, and you're trying to fix a bug, try something and it doesn't work, try something and it doesn't work. Except like there was like it felt even though there was a lot of repetitiveness to it for me, of like the AI would not always fix things right away or would write bad code and I'd be like, we get bugs, and give me a fix, and I'd have some more bugs, give me a fix, and there's more bugs. But eventually it would get to it. But that's not that different than like doing it yourself. Like that's actually the same. Like when I'm doing it, I would get the same thing. I would get bugs and I'd be trying to fix them. I'd make more bugs, trying to fix the bugs. Except like you can just always ask it, like, what's causing this bug? And at least it gives you like a pretty good answer. It's like way better than when you're all on your own. Like I'll tell you that. Like I mean, or I can say like, here's what I want to go do. Make me a new feature that does this, and it will spit it all out. And the code it writes is like really readable and pretty good. Like I mean, again, me coming back to it way later, I feel like I can look through it and update it. Kind of awesome. So yeah. So I just sharing my little. There's no real point to the story other than sharing that I'm just trying to do it myself too. I just spent it, and I'm having so much fun too. It's really fun. Actually, to be honest, it's really all I'm thinking about right now is I just want to go finish building this lab. So yeah, super cool. And I think about that, and I'm like, wow, I did that, and I spent 72 hours out of a basic working app that's debatably as good as the one that's out there in the App Store right now. Not quite, but it wouldn't take much more. And this is like a year into it, like that you've been able to do this at all, right? Like I don't know, a year and a half. Like you could have ChatGPT build an app for you, or like anything like that. Like 2 years from now or 3 years from now, it's gonna be way better and way easier. I'll be like, and it's gonna be way less bugs, and it's gonna like just work way better and like be way more iterative and like, man, I think super encouraging. I thought it was really really cool. So it's my little story. As far as today, it's going to be pretty straightforward. Hopefully no surprises. We don't have many slides either, but today's the $1,000 demo day competition. And Venmo somebody $1,000. I've invited 2 guest judges to come in today who have impeccable timing. Mike just walked in. That's Mike Morton. And Eric is just walking in right now on cue. Like, cue Eric. He walks right in. They're going to help me judge the demos. They're both mentors here at Capital Factory, and Eric, as some of you have met, has doing a lot of AI coding, so has a lot of experience with it too. So I'm asking you guys to actually come sit up front this time. Sit up with us here on the other side, and then we're gonna jump into demos. It's demos only today, but I'd really encourage you if you got it, show it. Like even if it doesn't work yet or whatever, show us what you're trying to do. I want to see it, and then someone will get $1,000. So, you want to line up? Or just have volunteers to go first. I see you itching. All right, head on up, and Eric and Mike are grabbing some pizza, and they can sit down next to me, and we'll get started. Is there one more microphone? Yeah. Wait, there is one more? Yeah. Eric and Mike, you want to give a quick 2-minute intro for each of you guys too, so they know who they're talking to? Make the screen when you talk to it, and then it looks like it doesn't have a microphone, but it does.
Is this working? There we go. Eric Naver, I'm a mentor here. Computer engineering is my background, so I did microprocessor design, and I think I've introduced myself before. I I do a lot with AI, helping mostly small, medium companies try to figure out what in the world to do with it and building MVPs. So I look forward to seeing what all you guys put together. Michael Morton, been a mentor here for a long time now. No, that was a couple years after I got here that I started, but it's been a while. That was back in the UT when we had classes over there is when I started. But really enjoy working with all you guys. There's always some really cool stuff to come up with. Background is envisioning, designing, developing product. A lot of what I've done is in hardware and hard tech, but it's also experience design and what is the customer actually getting out of what you're delivering, and trying to get you guys to have a product that help you have a product that really creates magic for somebody. So really enjoy, kind of giving guidance on that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to all the results from today. So all your hard work.
Awesome. All right, so as Bill Perkins described it, I'd recommend you use a king of the mountain approach. Just keep track of who's king of the mountain, who's the best one so far, and then we'll conspire after to see if we agree at all. All right? This is a demo. I think it's like, it's really the impressiveness with what they've accomplished. And I would include, we should always ask them what their major and background is, and I would kind of include that in the whole picture. But what they've accomplished, they're all supposed to have done this in 1 week.
All right, hey guys, my name is Jesvin. It's been a while since I pitched, but I'm demoing the health and fitness app that I was pitching at the beginning of this year. Just to reiterate, this is not like done in like the last week. This is like almost a semester-long thing that I've been working on with my roommate, so this is not just me as well. But yeah, this is it. I took a screen recording because it is a mobile app, so I wasn't able to plug it in because I have a lightning cable, but I took a screen recording of majority of the features, so this is it. So whenever you guys need me to pause it, just let me know. But yeah, here we go. So this is Ascend Fitness. This is the home page as soon as you enter. This is the calorie tracking page. As you can see, we get, we'll go back a little bit. But the first section just kind of has your calories that you want to track for the day. This is an auto-generated goal. So we give you like a quiz on the onboarding flow, and basically whatever your goals are, this is the calorie limit for the day, and then it has your meals. This is it's pretty similar to what you see in like other apps. Then you get 4 options, whether you can take a photo of your meal, it'll automatically calculate the calories, scan the QR code, or you can describe your food. When you describe your food, you can kind of say, this is where you kind of put in hidden ingredients. You can put in like olive oil or something like that, just so you can get it as accurate as possible. Moving on, this is an example of how it's done. So basically, take a photo of the QR code and goes in the database, and you obviously get the calories, and it automatically updates.
So just to be clear, you've been working on all this all semester?
Yeah, it wasn't like a 1 week thing.
Okay, great. So good job, but
Yeah.
what we want to see right now, and
Yeah.
what we're supposed to be demoing, is stuff we built this in the past week. So if that's not what you're doing, go to the back of the line, because that's what this is really focused on. So I think we got a good picture of it.
Yeah.
And it looks cool.
Yeah.
But what we're really looking for is what you built in the past week.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, so my name's Tanner, and I built something called...
Sorry, real quick, let me clarify that. Actually, I think what I said before was you could take one more pass at it. I think, so you could technically be 2 weeks. You could have worked on it once before, and then like taken another week at it. So, but it is meant to be like something that you know is basically like a 1 week project. Thanks.
All right, so I'll talk about a little bit of the reason I did this. I really wanted to learn more about AI a couple weeks ago, especially after talking about it so much in this class. So I went to ChatGPT, thought what better way to learn AI than ask AI itself. And I asked it to kind of teach me a little bit about AI and how it works, like deep learning, and it didn't really do a great job at all. It kind of gave me like a couple paragraphs of how it might work, and then eventually after some prompting I got a list of resources I could use, but not all of them were great. It was in a lot of different places. It just wasn't a good experience. So that's why I built Ascend. Ascend, the way I like to describe it, is like Duolingo, but for anything. So you can type in anything you've ever wanted to learn, and it's going to create an interactive, fun, gamified course similar to Duolingo to teach you that subject. And before we get into that, I'll just kind of go through like what the homepage looks like. This is the landing page. You can see like stuff from the community, some different courses that people have created, a little bit about why I built it here. But I'll go ahead and log into my account real quick. Cool. All right. So this is my dashboard. I can see like a couple stats, the courses I'm currently working on, and then some bookmark courses and some recommended stuff. But I'll go ahead and jump into building a new course. And you can do that from any page using this button right here, or you can do it from the landing page. So first thing, you can choose how in-depth you want to get with the course. So I'll stick with novice because it does take a minute to generate, but I'll go ahead and open it up to y'all. What do y'all want to learn? Okay, cool. How to be an expert chef, cool. All right, so I'm going to start that building. And what it's going to do is it's going to go through 6 steps. And I'll kind of talk about those steps while it's working. The first step is it's going to go research. So it's going to go pull a bunch of reputable sources and create what's called a source pack of all those sources, and also scraping them a little bit to create kind of a summary of the topic so we can get back to that. And then it's going to bring that research into step 2 and use the course pack to create a curriculum. Basically a lesson plan with these are the modules and lessons within each module. Then step 3 is it takes that curriculum and it's going to give it off to a bunch of different agents for each specific lesson. There's 3 types of lessons: reading, which is reading with interactive elements; watching, which is a video; and playing, which is like a quiz. So we go build those out. Step 4 is, I think, the most important. It's going to go through every lesson and it's going to fact check it. Does this by extracting all the facts in each lesson, and it's going to go check those facts. It's going to assign each fact a confidence score. Anything that's below 90%, it's going to regenerate. Then after that, it's going to go to step 5, which is kind of the connector agent. You know, we have all these separate lessons now, but we need something to make it cohesive. It's also going to do all the gamification, so how much XP you get for each question, and the badge you're going to earn at the end. And then the last thing is one final QA pass, make sure everything looks good, and then it'll be built. Right now you can see it's building, it's on 5 out of 20, so while it kind of does this, I'm just going to look into another course that I built.
Good idea. I was going to ask it how to, it sounds like we don't have time to do one more like this, so we should look at one very quick, but I was going to ask it how to teach my dog to stop barking.
That's a tough one. I don't think there's an answer there. But one thing that I found that was kind of interesting you can do with this is you can actually tell it to teach you something based on what an expert, based on like an expert in that field. And so one of the courses I generated yesterday was Teach Me Entrepreneurship, as it was taught by Joshua Bear. So we can pop into this course. You can see the modules, my progress, and we'll just pop into this first one. And you can see here, it's talking a little bit about Joshua Bear. It shows you some of the sources it used to come up with this. It says that you see entrepreneurship as a powerful way for individuals to gain financial freedom and make a positive impact on society. Is that true?
Sure.
Cool. All right. You can also have it read aloud. It's kind of an old web API. It's just using the one from the browser, so it's free. And you basically can go through the course and it's interactive, so it's going to ask you questions. So like, Josh, did you know the answer to this one? It's taught based on you. Yeah. Which one do you think's correct?
I'm gonna just change the world to that. That's what I. Okay. Well, in the primary server.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. Zoom out here. Cool. Yeah, and you could basically go through the course. There's different types of interactive activities. So, just go through here and you can see there's like term matching, all kinds of different stuff. There's different lessons too, like videos that it finds and then quizzes at the end. That's the basics. There's also Explore, where it's like a Netflix style feed of other people's courses. So you can see, oh, that sounds interesting, and learn it yourself. And then there's a leaderboard. It's all about gamification, making learning fun. So here's some users that I have from UT that have been trying it out for me and giving me feedback. Right? That's the basics. This course that we've generated is still over here. It's almost done. It's fact checking 9 out of 14. That's the last time taking step. So I'd estimate like another 1 or 2 minutes, but I'll go ahead and stop there.
Yeah.
What's your background and how did you build it?
Yeah, so my background is I'm a film major, but I do have some programming background. I've messed around like during COVID. I used Code Academy to learn a bit about programming. And how I built it was I used Cursor. So just jamming all week on Cursor to get this working. Yeah.
So I think the app's pretty cool. Some next things that I think would make it even better is, on the one hand, I was going to say like the more you could personalize the course to the person, that'd be one way of really using the AI and having a reason why you're making one each time. Seeing how long it's taken, it made me think, wow, for your first time use case, that's not a great use experience. Better to like go find one that already exists, like you said. And so maybe a way to combine those would be like you type something in, and the first thing it does is search to see like, do you want one of these existing ones? And you could try that before you go make a new one, right?
Totally.
But then I love the idea of like having a library of them and people will maybe like rank them or both them up and things like that too. And so would it be fair to summarize like your value that you've done is kind of like coming up with a structure? Like here's what I think it takes to teach somebody like the structure of like courses and like these pieces. And so you're kind of like now going to take any topic and fit it into that structure.
Yeah, I would say the guest speaker we had last week, he talked about Sky5. It's like he's the user experience platform. I think that's exactly what this is.
Cool. Anything else from you guys? Awesome. All right. Thanks. Good job.
Cool, thanks.
So this idea came from the fact that I really don't like online shopping because it's always too confusing to like look at stuff, and then the filters aren't very good, and there's like too many products, I don't know what I want. And so what this product does is you enter in a site, like let's say H&M, it'll preload the site, and then you can like now chat with it based on the current like live products, and then you do like natural language search essentially on this website. So you can say something like, give me products that are good for winter that are like less than $35, and it'll like do that stuff dynamically, so you don't have to like bother with the filters because each website is different. And I feel like most clothing websites are kind of annoying to use, or most clothing site websites. So like the name is not very good, but it's called Product Parser, and the idea is you'll load in a website, and I have some preloaded ones because it takes like a minute to load, and also I couldn't get the loading to work on the front end. Like, you have to do it like through the terminal, so I can show that afterwards. But you have like the preloaded sites. You can go and select one, and then just start the session. And what that means is it starts the server for you. Because what this also does is so you can chat with it through like the actual website, or it creates an MCP server, and you can like hook it up to your own ChatGPT. So like ChatGPT, that gives you actual ChatGPT is probably smarter, and then you can like use it in your actual chat to do it with other stuff. So you can combine like different connectors too if you wanted to. But I can show you what it looks like just in the actual thing. So like type like. Yeah, and then it takes a second because it first searches and then it goes to the LLM to like parse
Read what you
search.
type, because like it's
Oh,
kind of
sorry.
like white on green small text.
I said, give me good products for a winter. And yeah, the chat window's a little bit small, but you can see like, it'll return to you like actual real products and these like link to the actual thing. This, it doesn't work because I think I scraped the thing so it like blocked my IP address or something. But it does open. This is a real link, I promise. And yeah, you can see the descriptions and stuff, and it tells you like why it might be good, like suitable for cool weather, blah blah blah. And then, so this is like in this actual chat, but you can also like take this link that it gives you, and then if you go to your ChatGPT, and then you can. Am I not logged in? Sorry, I am. Ah, here we go. Okay. You can create like a new like tool, and this only works in developer mode for now, but I assume like this will become more like robust in the future, because this is like MCP server stuff is probably gonna become more widely used. So you just put in that link. There's no authentication for this, so you don't do that. And then just hit create, and then it'll like call the server, it'll like hook it up to the thing, which hopefully works. Okay, nice. Yeah, it works. And then so now you can go to your thing, and then you can ask it like, and sometimes it doesn't know it's supposed to use the tool, so you have to like tell it explicitly. But this will probably be better in the future too.
I constantly can't get it to use the connectors I've hooked up.
I know it doesn't. Oh yeah, it still doesn't. It didn't do it for some
I
reason.
can't see your GitHub repo.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, it is. Yeah, this also takes a second
Okay.
sometimes.
So while that's going, this is
Yeah.
super cool. I was actually just doing this. I'm planning a trip to Africa, and so I needed to like pick out all my clothes. And so I literally went into ChatGPT and I put in my itinerary, and then I was like, what clothes do I need for this itinerary? Like, and then I said, look at the weather forecast, and I was like, now tell me what clothes I need for this itinerary. And then I was like, and I have a list of like my favorite brands already in there. So then I was like, okay, now give me 3 choices for each of those items. Show me the pictures. I was like kind of like basically building this, like just one off. And I was like, and then I'll go through and tell you which one I want to build a shopping list. So I was just going through a very similar use case.
Did that work like pretty well?
It actually worked great. Like I was surprised, but like I think first of all what helps is it was actually very specific. It wasn't bringing winter stuff. It was like, here's where I'm going on these days. Here's the weather forecast. Like, what clothes? You know, it's an Africa safari. Like it's kind of specialized. So they had very specific recommendations. And for that kind of thing, I'm like, I like, you know, Outdoor Voices, Lululemon, you know, Patagonia, you know, REI, whatever, right? And so it came back and it's like, okay, like here's the, you know, Patagonia version, the 3 different versions of that kind of technical shirt, and then like, you know, zip off pants, and then like each of the things I wanted me to go get. And it was kind of awesome. And a hat, right? You know, like all the things.
That's the thing. Like ChatGPT can like kind of do this, but I guess the idea with this is it's like scraping it based on like there's like.
Well, where I also think I'm trying to find the line between with all these things is like ChatGPT can do anything if you know what to ask it to go do. Like a part of the value of having an app is like putting a structure around it, so I don't have to think about it, all the different things to ask, right? You know, and I'm not sure where that line goes.
That's fair. Also, I think it called the wrong tool. Oh, it's doing the other one. So yeah, it's like, okay, this will work. In a
It just
second.
makes it a real demo.
But yeah, so like that ChatGPT can kind of do this, but the benefit of this is it's using like actual real products. Like it can't be wrong because it's getting it from the website. And you can like refresh it and to get it to do it live and stuff. Yeah, and like these are actual real products that it found, and then it'll like this is so ChatGPT is interpreting the output differently. So that's why like maybe you want to use ChatGPT over the chat in this because you like how ChatGPT responds to you and stuff. And this model is probably really good. I don't know which one the API is using. I forgot, but.
So can you go back to your search and say like Africa Safari in December?
I wonder. That'd be interesting. I don't know how many products are actually in the test thing, so I don't know if it'll have it on.
No, December. Oh, no, that's fine. Whatever. Good enough.
Oh well. Yeah, it doesn't want to use the tool for some reason.
Okay.
so it's not perfect.
You do it from your other side. Do it from your tool.
Good point. Let's see. I wonder if it'll like think about the weather and stuff. I don't know. Is it cold in December in Africa?
No.
Oh. So this is wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, not perfect.
Yeah. That's okay.
But yeah, that's basically it.
Cool. You guys have questions? Awesome. I like all the MCP integration stuff. That was cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good job. All right. Clap.
Oh, and what's your background?
All right. Good to remember.
That's a computer science. I use Cursor and Codec to come back and forth.
All right. Like maps.
Hey, hi guys. So, something that not many people know about me is that I really like to bake. And I've always wanted to start my own cupcake company. But the problem is that if I start my own cupcake company, I'm not going to have a ton of online engagement. And that can be hard on Instagram when there's so many other cupcake companies. And I'm just a little fish, and it's hard to get a bunch of followers and likes and stuff like that. So what do? I will go to Trail Mix and I will create a bounty. So basically I can create a bounty and say like in the next, let's say, I don't know, 24 hours, the next 20 people that follow my Instagram account will receive a free cupcake, and that might increase my engagement. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and create and I can say like follow at and I can set like a timer, so in the next how many days, how long is this bounty up for, and I'll say like the next 20 people, they'll get and they're like, and I can say like somewhere in Austin, I'll set my coordinates to Austin. So somewhere around there. So I'll go ahead and do that. And that went ahead and made a bounty on my map. So now I can see like the bounty, and if I was kind of lazy, or if I didn't want to write my own bounty, then I would just have the AI sort of like look at my past engagement and give me some like examples of bounties that I could create. Another cool thing on this website is that I can go to my profile and actually track like engagement that I've had. So maybe like past bounties that I've created, how well they've done. I can track like the number of unique users that I've received using this app, stuff like that, just to make sure that I'm actually gaining experience out of this website. So yeah, that's how it looks on the company's end. And now on the flip side, if I'm someone who's just like a bounty hunter on this app and I'm trying to get something for free, like let's say I want to get a free cupcake, I'm sure I have cupcake, and I'll just log in. So now I'll log in and I'll look through the different things that are available. And I see, oh, this person is going to give me a free vanilla cupcake. So I can look at it on the map and I want to claim my bounty. So I'll go ahead and for the sake of time, I'm not going to go like follow the Instagram. I already took a picture. I already took a screenshot to actually look through that screenshot and make sure that it's a legit screenshot. And it'll give me a confidence score, and then I can submit. Now, let's say I'm trying to be sneaky and I try to submit something that's very obviously not a not a screenshot that's valid, then it's going to reject me and say that it's insufficient or it'll give me a so yeah, that's
Cool. And what's your major background?
I see it.
And what's your, how'd you build this?
Okay.
How'd you build it?
I built it on Cursor and I actually started like last night.
So it fits within the 1 week time frame. Cool. Well, I think it's really interesting. I think, you know, my first thought was it feels very consumer, and so maybe the output of it, like it might be good to take this and put it in more like an app format. And similar, like on the search, like I think I want to get notifications, which is another reason for trying the app. That like line is like kind of like, because then it's like, oh, someone made a new prize. Sorry, what was in your area? You know what I mean? Like, oh, there's another one in Austin. You can get a free cupcake. You know, like, and I could totally see that you know that working really well. So yeah, super cool. What do you guys think?
What's the map aspect? Do I need to like? Why do I care where it is?
So for some of them, I just gave you follow like online engagement as an example, but some of them are like if you go in person and take a picture there, then that might be kind of disengagement. So that's my comment.
And this is, are you targeting more towards the consumers or the people that are trying to build business?
Well, I want it to be both ways, but mainly I want for it to be a place where small businesses get very quick traction, rather than having to maybe like buy some bots on Instagram or anything.
So I like the idea of that's actually, I like that part, because it helps mobilize it. And keep your community out there, maybe get enough people. So that there's a way that when you're walking by the shop, you know if you're there,
Great, thank you. We gotta work on our clap. I'm gonna say thank you, and then we're gonna clap. Ready? Thank you. All right, you guys don't know the rule. They're watching me. We all clap like one big clap. Ready? One more time. Thank you. All right, that sounded good.
Hello everyone, my name is Yusuf. Okay, it's visible. Hello everyone, my name is Yusuf. I built an app for sharing an experience of study rooms at UT campus. So you know, we're gonna start a new semester. It is nearly end of the semester, so we're gonna have our exams in buildings that we have never been before. So we might wanna like study there before the exam, right before the exam, or there might be some events that we wanna go to, but before that we wanna study, or after that we wanna study. So if it's a building that we've never been before, then it's gonna be hard finding a good place that, you know, study for us. Maybe we don't want a lot of people there or not a lot of noise there. So I made this app, web-based app that is gonna share people's experience on study rooms at UT. So here, first I created an account, and then I logged in right now. As you saw, I'm user 1. And then I first go to profile and then check what metrics that I look for and how valuable they are for me. So like I want a quiet room and I care that a lot, so I'm gonna increase the weight of that. Or if I don't care about comfort or cleanliness, then I'm just gonna like hide that matrix and then save it. And then I'm just gonna go to rooms and try to search for a room for studying. So let's say I am at RLP or Welch, doesn't matter, and then I basically look for closest to my base building, and then I get GDC. So I can go into and view the details. So these are the metrics of the room that are rated by people who already stayed there. So quietness, seat availability, outlet availability, and isolation. Also, after I study there, I can also rate this room, make public comments for other people or private comments for myself, and I can see my private comment, my public comment, and my private note here. And if I am just at a building and want to see what are the available rooms, like what are the study room options, then I can just go and view the rooms. So let's see, PCL, yeah. And then I can also sort them by my indexes. So like they're both 425, it's coincidence. And then they are different, sections in the third floor, and they're pretty nice. And right now I only have like 3 rooms. Those are the 3 usually rooms or places that I usually go. That's why I only put 3, but if more people sign up, then more rooms will be available. And if I don't want to study alone, or like, if I want someone else to study with for various reasons, I can go to Study With Me page and then select where I am, here, 1, and then what I'm studying. I'm just going to study 439, and then I can start to study. I actually had a study going on already, so I might stop the new one that I just created. And then I've been studying for 45 minutes, and from other people's perspective, they can see that I'm studying in that room, and they can also join me. So study with me, and there is a person in GDC first floor studying, and if I want to study with them, I can ask to join them. Yeah, that's basically my app.
All right. I know you pitched this before, so great to see you build it. What's your major and background? And how'd you build it?
I use ChatGPT. I started this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see, I think this sounds really cool, and I'd love to see a map. So that with the rooms, like
Right.
maybe show a room that's occupied, that's not occupied, and stuff like that. More visual. So having that.
Like within buildings, or like the whole YouTube map? Like
And you can do both. You can have it whole view, zoom into that building. Right. I mean, that's more work. That'd be a nice, beautiful.
Did you tell ChatGPT to write it from scratch, or did you like have it write specific parts of it?
I can actually show what I did, if that's okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
So this is my reporting stuff. Yeah, this is my first prompt, ChatGPT, and at the end I say, give me a prompt that I can use ChatGPT, so it will give me step-by-step instructions, and then it gives me a prompt, and I paste that to ChatGPT, and then that gives me like something that's like pretty much correct. Because if I really, if I were to write this and just tell it, give me code, it gives a lot of error. But when I ask it to give me a prompt that I can use ChatGPT again, it gives better results.
Why did you say at the top it needs to run on your computer? At the top, at the beginning of the prompt, it says it needs to run on my local computer.
Want to run it on any server, so it's actually run here on my local machine, and the web ID is my local computer, and I can only run it for
Yeah, I think that's interesting. So I think, with this one, and I'd say about the last one too as well, just from a user interface perspective, to me this is very much like functionality first. It's like, okay, here are the fields, fill in the fields, do the search. I could, to be honest though, I couldn't see myself using it. Like I would fill out all these different things, and it's very much like just fields to fill out. And I'm I think possibly putting the limitation of like, I need to run this on Python on my computer may have brought some of that UI with it. But I think one of the big advantages you can get from AI and from ChatGPT is having it just build out a lot of the natural UI for you. And so like you see that, I think, more in Lovable and Replit and things like that a little bit. But I know, like, for example, I was describing the Apple TV app that I made. And I mean, it's beautiful, and it lays everything out really nice and uses all these best praxis, and it really like makes the process really simple. And that's the biggest thing I think for your next step with this is just thinking about reducing, in order for me to do anything, reducing the number of steps, the number of fields I need to fill out, the number of things I need to click on to make it happen much faster. Because there's just a lot of things to click on, a lot of things to do.
Yeah, and like it runs on like HTML and JavaScript, I believe, but Python is only in the background.
Yeah. So maybe there's other ways to that, but yeah, I would be really in your spec asking it to really focus more on the user experience and making that really easy and and specifically the instructions of like, for example, minimizing the steps, minimizing the things they have to fill out or do. Because like, one of the great things about AI is you can just give it that overall instruction, and like, or you can ask it. Another thing is I would do some refactoring with it as well, and I'd go back and be like, okay, how can I make the API calls I'm doing more efficient to the flight server I'm using? And it came back with a bunch of recommendations. It was like, oh, actually, you should do this, this, and this. So like going to this and saying, hey, how can I simplify this and reduce the number of fields people need to fill out and reduce the number of steps they need to do and see what it comes back with. Good job. All right. Good. Thank you. That was my big cue. You guys keeping your? Yeah, I see you keeping notes. Good.
What's up, y'all? I'm Chris. I made this app that just like basically makes meal plans for you because I feel like the biggest struggle for me is that I've been like in college, especially, I've just been eating the same things. Like I don't have a meal plan at any of the dining halls. I don't really like the food there anyways, but I think just like having a way to branch out and get new meals is really important. So I just made this app. You can like select different dietary goals you have and stuff. So let's say I'm like high protein. You can set like preferences for each day and stuff. Calorie goal, I'll just say like Italian for the entire week. And yeah, there's like different cooking difficulties. So I'm in college, I don't have that much time to cook, so it's good easy. Weekly budget, I don't have that much money, so probably like $100. The prices are kind of all over the place right now though, so I'll generate it. And it'll say it's like $400, but it's not right. I had it
That was
made,
really fast.
yeah, it doesn't use any AI or anything. It's all from a database. Like it's
a search.
Yeah, it's a search, but like, it prioritizes things because there's also another feature that's like pantry, and it'll like prioritizing things that are already in your pantry. So you can add things. This might be if you can do it manually, but you can also upload photos. So I have one of me holding some black beans, and and it uploads it and just says like bean. So I made that. I just wanted to make that easier. The API uses like a Google one. It's not really meant for food, but it still somewhat works well. So, but yeah, I just wanted to make something simple that I actually like use just for throughout the week.
And so what was that next screen? How do you make the plan out of it?
Huh?
When you
Oh,
went to the next screen.
this
how do
one
you
right
make
here.
the plan out of it?
Yeah, you can just put in all the info, generate a plan. Oh yeah, dietary goal. So I want to be vegan.
Or is this the plan?
Yeah, this is the plan. You can
Okay,
save
there's
it
no
as
more
well.
choices to make.
You can always swap out things. Like sometimes it's repetitive, so yeah, you can always swap out things. But it'll just okay. I think there's not many vegan recipes, so it's gonna do a lot of repetitions right now. But yeah.
Right. And then will it give you a shopping list?
Yeah, I was trying to get this working, the total ingredients used, but it wouldn't work for some reason. But it would list out all the things that was actually used in your pantry. So, but the next step would definitely be to do some API that actually gives you links to different locations that have the ingredients and like the actual prices as well to match them. But I wanted to make this simple and fast just for myself right now, so I wouldn't have to put a lot of time in making it and put a lot of time in just like waiting for it to search all those places and say you can get this here, you can get this here, and all that. But yeah, you can also favorite recipes as well, and it'll prioritize these as well once you do some preferences. But yeah.
Cool. You guys have any feedback?
How hard would it be to have it generated? Is it making up the recipes from it, or is it pulling up from the database?
It's pulling this from a database. It doesn't use any AI. I tried getting Cursor to make, because I made this with Cursor. I tried to say, oh yeah, make some AI images, and it just said, oh, I'm gonna give you code that makes AI images. I'm like, no, I want you to make the images, but yeah.
pulls directly from a database, and it may already have pictures.
No, this is it generated the database. Like, it's all local as well, so it doesn't go from anywhere.
Cool. Yeah, so I think as much as I can see that might make a feature for you, on the flip side of that, the more that you could just take advantage of existing, like, I'm sure there's an existing food database out there, and photo database, and those other things, and the more that you could take advantage of those to get to scale quickly, to make it really useful quickly, I would probably make that trade-off. Like, when I was doing my thing, I didn't try to rebuild any kind of flight tracking. I just tapped the Build Flight Tracker API, right? You know?
I did try that, but there's a max entry. I tried one, max entries per day 35. I did it once, it was done. Like,
Yeah.
So,
And then you have to pay for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of opted to just go local.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. We gotta work on our clapping.
Hi guys, my name is Harini and I made a startup diary, and it's basically a mentorship platform for entrepreneurs. This is like our mission, and I wanted to make this primarily because of this class. Like after listening to all like the speakers that came, I realized like how much you can learn from people who have been like where you want to be and who have like done the things you're trying to do. And so how this works is basically you can write letters. So you go to, or you come here and you write a letter. And it can be like, these are some sample prompts, so you just write about your story, something you want to share to other people, and then you can submit it to the website. And then people who are interested in entrepreneurship or small business owners, they can come here and they can look through and they can read different stories. So like for example, if I press this, there's like someone who wrote this letter, for example, and then there's like a discussion, you can comment things about the letter, and then there's an Inspire tab, so like popular podcasts, any book recommendations, a quote wall where people share like small wins that they've had, things of that sort. And then I have a tools tab, basically just like different interesting tools that might be of use to people. So like different articles, there's a new one every week. There's articles here, there's some essential tools that are useful for founders, and then founder match, like any communities you want to be part of. And then co-working sessions if you want to join and meet with people, and then something called a founders community where you can connect with other people, learn from each other, have meetings one-on-one, things of that nature. Yeah.
Cool. You guys want to go first? Mike?
I would first one first step on it was like to get more engagement. You might do something like every time something comes up that you spotlight a profile of a founder or a mentor, kind of make them, that might be more motivating than people to so that's very good, really good. The letters, do they add the pictures or are those generated somehow? Or?
These were automatically generated by Lovable, like some of them, but I also inputted some of them because I wanted it all to like, be the same sort of stuff.
So the use case to make a post use this picture?
No, you don't have to.
Okay, it would add it.
Yes.
First of all, this is the nicest looking one we've seen so far. I appreciate all the effort you put into the design and aesthetic. It's really great. And like thought through the whole kind of like the experience part of it really well. When you got the letters, is it just like a big list of letters? Did you search them? Did you recommend them? Like how do you find the letters that are relevant to you?
So I wanted to have like, there's little like hashtags here. So I wanted to have like, if you search up the keyword, it'll show up. I'm not sure if the keyword, oh, I guess it is. I guess you can search up like based on these hashtags you want these, or you can say like, match me to a letter. So if you're feeling like, I don't know, burnt out and you're building your first vision and you need inspiration, like this is like a letter suggestion for you.
How did it pick that?
I I
Yeah,
don't know.
okay. Nice. All right. Eric? Do you have anything, Eric? No. All right, cool. Thanks. Good job.
I'm a data science major.
Okay, so. Alright, so just by show of hands, how many of you guys know what Cauchy is? Okay, so like some of us, right? So let me just tell you like a really quick story. So I was like hanging out with my roommate Austin. You know, he's like a pretty cheerful guy. You know, he's normally happy, right? But the other day I just like, noticed he's like kind of like sad. He's like a little bit down. I thought like whatever, right? He probably just had like a bad midterm and stuff, right? But it kind of continues, right? You know, his crush asked him out, but he's still like all sad in the corner. You know, I'm wondering like what's going on, right? And then he showed me his Cauchy portfolio, and I was like, ooh, like that's bad. There's a lot of red. So for those of you who don't know what Cauchy is a predictive betting platform, and so there's like a lot of different markets on there. So for example, like politics.
Is it like Polymarket?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I heard it that way.
So there's like sports, there's, you know, like crypto, there's like all these different fields. There's like tech, you know, I think one of them was like, what do you think like the best AI model is going to be by the end of the year, right? So there's all these different like events and different markets that are going on, right? And so like he's kind of doing bad in this, you know, and it got me thinking like, you know, with our last week's speaker, like Bill Perkins, for example, right? He mentioned like using satellite data to like look at, say, like crops or like commodities like oil, right? And so I was like thinking like, man, like, you know, these hedge funds, like they have all these resources, and they're able to make like the most informed trade. What if just like the average retail investor, just someone who just wants to like make some money on the side, was able to do the same thing? And so that's exactly what I built today. And so I built something called Pookie. And so it's a prediction market trading bot. So this UI here is done using 3JS. It's like there's 3 components there. And so I guess I'll just go straight to the portfolio. And so the way this works, we have this portfolio here, we have suggested bets here, current bets, and then we have like a bunch of tickers here, right? So I'll just talk about the workflow. The way this works is it first uses the Cauchy API, and it fetches like all of these markets and events filtered by top volume. Then from there, it runs parallel batches using Perplexity Sonar. So it's like getting all these like you know, news articles. There's all this data about all these different events. So it's aggregating all of that, and then it makes API LLM calls to actually like parse through that data. There's other mathematical models as well, like there I use like Z-scores. There's something else I don't really fully understand, but it's like I think it's like the Kelly criterion calculator, but it's just like your optimal like position size. But basically, there's all these like different models. It's using analysis on all of this data that it's aggregated, and then from there, it's going to like provide suggestions, right? So if it believes that a current price of a bet is mispriced, and it thinks it's like there's like profit to be made there, it's going to recommend that. And so that's what this is over here. So we have like different events. So for example, like I don't know, like will Bitcoin settle above 100 grand or something, right? So we have all these events. It's telling us like how much we should bet, confidence, all that stuff. We can click on it too. We get all this data, and if I were to like say like click place bet, that's actually gonna add an extra cube here, and each of the cubes represents a trade that you've made. This is pretty fun, just doing like UI wise. Each of these are like 3 components. It's pretty smooth too. I can like go over each one. It's gonna tell me like what's there. For the ticker symbols on each of the cubes, that's each ticker is gonna be unique. It's AI generated. But yeah, and then you have like a weekly or like investment thesis here. I guess like one future thing you could do is like if you're interested in like say like a particular market, you could have it send maybe like a like a weekly or daily digest like on your email about like a specific topic that you want to learn more about and become more informed about. And then then you have like current positions, all that stuff here. And so that's like the general idea. It's just like a way to empower retail investors, people who might not always have the time to like learn about all these markets, because
the data's out there, and so this is just a tool that kind of does that work for you.
So do you place any bets?
I did not. So I had this connected to like a demo API because I don't want to put money right away. But I can here. Let me try to run this right now actually. So. Okay. So what's gonna happen right now is. Sorry. Okay, so right now it's like fetching all these events from the Calci API, right? It takes some time. And then after this, what it's going to do is, it's like I said, it's going to send that to Perplexity, right? It's going to aggregate all the info. It takes like a couple of minutes to run though. But that's like the general idea. Yeah, any questions?
I'm still not, like, I was following you for a while, and then I'm still not quite sure what it's helping me do. Like, the cubes and the boxes, like, I don't really understand. So, like, I can see a lot of, like, cool things you've done here. Like, there's a lot of, like, I understand, like, the individual parts that are, like, really cool, but I'm kind of getting lost on the big picture of, like, what am I using this to accomplish?
Yeah.
And it doesn't look easier to me. Like, back to the UI stuff I've been kind of harping on. Like, this suddenly feels, you know, it's, you know, I kind of make it simpler. But.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, it's like, I'd say like the user who'd actually be using this is probably someone who's like used Calci before, so they probably like some relative understanding of where things are. And then I guess like in UI, yeah, I'd probably like maybe rearrange it, but the general idea is just to provide like information on like your current bets. This I kind of just have like fun with. The inspiration behind that was like you have these different like stock market maps, right? And so like I try to like make it into a cube. I thought that was like a pretty cool design, but I do agree. I could probably maybe like make it a little cleaner to look at. But the general idea is just a platform that if you're a Calci better, like you can use this to like make the most optimized trades possible.
Right. So what's an example where it's going to tell you how to do something different?
What do you mean by that?
Well, the whole point of it is like you'd look at it and you'd be like, I think you talked about it. For example, highlighting a trade you should do. Like
Yeah. So that's what's here on this side. It's like suggested bets. So this is like after. I can like maybe refresh this. Oh, there you go. Maybe update. Okay, I gotta fix that. But the idea is that like you run this Python script, and then when it's done, it's then gonna provide you the like suggested bets, and it provides like a rationale with like the statistics. So that way like you actually know like why, like the reasoning behind that. Does that make sense, or still like kind of confused?
I think that makes sense. Yeah, let's see what it looks like, but it's cool. Like,
Maybe that's what, so those are the bets you placed, or the ones that swapped? Are those the ones?
Yeah. So
That's what you placed?
yeah. So these are bets I've placed. It's also shown here. Yeah.
On that side, it's the ones that you might want to do.
Yeah.
Do you have any criteria to say, hey, I want to bet on all, I want to bet on something like that?
I don't have that right now, but like in addition to like the investment thesis where you can like filter by category you want to learn about, you could probably like tailor the algorithm itself so it's like solely like the sports markets or like tech, stuff like that.
It might be maybe to, there's a lot of words on there. That if I want recommendations and I trust this, I might want to just kind of tell me a little bit.
Yeah.
I can click into it if I want to. And it might be easier for me to absorb what you're recommending. And then one thing you might do is, since you're doing the graphic with cubes, and the bets change over time, right? There's a bet for next week.
Yeah.
It might be interesting to show the progress.
Yeah.
Is it going south or is it getting better?
Yeah, it's not implemented yet, but like one feature, I ran out of time, but it's like continuously polling and checking for updates. And then it can, kind of like you mentioned, like, here, let me,
Get my status, basically.
yeah. So like, I look on a,
I like having a graphic representation of your bets, and then you
Yeah.
can make things more in there.
for sure. Yeah, so like one idea, where'd it go? Sorry. So yeah, like kind of like you were saying, like I was thinking like you could like click on a bet that you did, and then it'd give you like all the context like over time, This is like famous. So it'd be something like this, where like you can click on a card, you know, it gives you like information over time, like what's happening, and probably like adding some charts like you mentioned.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like to just glance at it and go,
Yeah.
you know, so and you don't need to make it ridiculous, but it'd be a cool.
No. All right, good job. Thank you.
And what's your background? And
I'm doing electrical engineering, and then for my tech stack, to build this, I use Cursor, Quadrant. I write a credit, so I go to Gemini, and then I use Freelancer.
Hello, my name is Sojo Gonzalez. So, oh, is it on? Let's see. Yay! Okay, yeah, so Sojo Gonzalez. So this app, basically, I had a few limitations to start with. One, I don't have a subscription anywhere. So I knew immediately within, like, I've used Lovable quite a few times. I knew I had a grand total of 2 edits total in order to make this app. So a lot of the time I was using Cloud Code as well as ChatGPT to, like, completely make my entire plan in chat and then make the code there along with Cursor and then paste that into Lovable. Which there was a lot of processes, but it's been great because like through this class I've been able to figure out, oh, I'm gonna run into this problem, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell it to like give it that code because it's gonna forget the login. So anyway, but this idea is Project Verde, and it's a sustainable, community-based way to like connect people in Austin in order to help clean Austin. There's a lot of big nature things out there, as well as just like city life. So this is kind of the layout, and again, I had a lot of ideas, but I was trying to make it as simple and digestible as possible because like there's so many like volunteer and different orgs that exist, but I just wanted an all-encompassing, easy place to go, find what you need, and go. So it has this kind of as the opener, and then hit get started. And then I already have an email, but you can also do the sign up, and so it'll ask for a username, an email, password, and then a zip code, because it'll look for projects and missions is what I call it, close to you that you can help with. So I'm gonna just go ahead and sign in. Actually, let's just sign up for fun. So it creates the account. Let's be safe. Why not? It's fine. We don't need to verify. So yeah, so it's Restore Austin one mission at a time. So the kind of idea is that there's missions around Austin, but there's certain zones. There's like, we have Ladybird Lake, we have the UT Austin, like West Campus area, my rhetoric. And then you complete the tasks, and different tasks have different skills specifically. So if you have like a background in tech and you want to help install like security cameras so that we can track and regulate crimes, things like that, as well as you earn, by doing this, you submit like a picture of before and after, and you get points, and that allow you to go to local restaurants in Austin and coffee shops supporting new businesses, as well as getting a coffee after you help support the city you live in. So we'll kind of look through the different missions. So some of the like images kept on glitching out for some reason. But there's a lot of different ones. This is for an emergency call button. I think that'd be really helpful in Town Lake. We know there's some weird, sketchy things going on there over the years, as well as like solar trail lighting. So it's, how can we be as sustainable? This is obviously not exactly what Town Lake looks like, but I'd like to think positive. And if you hover over each thing, it'll give you more details on, oh, you get $10 off home-sliced pizza. What you need to bring: comfortable shoes, sunscreen, water. So it'll give you the specific skills. And if you also click on it, you can see what people like voted, or like what they said about their experience. Like, oh, met 3 amazing people while cleaning up, or planning more missions together. So it's a way to meet people that are also in that effort. And so it's kind of like a way if you want to meet new people in Austin, but like don't want to go on a dating app, but you just want to get to know people while doing something good for your city. And then if you're like, oh, this looks really good, and then you can sign up and find like a time that would work, and then the AI system will generate what most people said and kind of create it by there. And then let's see if there's anything else. But yeah, these are like the different areas Waller Creek, just to start, because I feel like those are the problem areas in Austin right now. And you can also look at your user, like, I wanted to do this, but honestly I didn't have enough points, but like, you can have, you know, you can see how many points you have and what restaurants or coffee shop, local businesses that would apply to, as well as your streak. So like, if you do 2 things a week, that's like 1 streak, and you just keep building from there. And I wanted there to be like a leaderboard so that people get like competitive about it. That's pretty much it.
So, are people submitting the missions?
Yeah, so that was also something that I was trying to integrate, but Livable wasn't really cooperating. But yeah, the idea was that these are like the things that, like the city of Austin, for example, is like, oh yeah, we need help with poison ivy in Barton Creek or whatever, right? But there should be kind of an area like here, for example, if someone was looking, like obviously it looks like they're all the same right now, but someone being like, hey, there's like a lot more actually stinging nettle, and I didn't think about that. Like, because some people have a greater allergic to different plants or whatever. So yeah, they can report, like they can open up missions. There's like an application that I want to be so that they can be like, hey, here's my reasoning for this, and this is what it needs, you know? And so it kind of makes users feel like they actually have a say in the hygiene of Boston.
Cool. Mike?
Yeah, looks really great. I really like it's very well done design-wise and the way you've arranged it. One thing to consider is a lot of people who are probably going to want to volunteer and do things like this, maybe a little more developed, and the text is really tiny.
It is.
And
It is
so
very tiny.
It's like, where's my glasses? But that's just, you know, you can work on that because it might be easier for people to just sort of access it that way. And the other thing I thought might be a good feature is to be able to see what your friends are doing somehow, if you have a way to.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea of the leaderboard, is someone being like, oh, this person did 4 missions this week, and here are like the pictures from it. Because there's also like an AI feature in it, so that when you submit the picture, it can actually detect if you actually did something, so that people aren't there just trying to get free food or like free coffees in Austin.
Awesome. Thank you.
And your background?
Oh, I'm a music composer, so not related to tech at all. But I have so much fun doing it. It's so cool.
Great job. See if this way at it.
Hi guys, my name is Faria. I battled with Cursor for many long hours and then gave up because I did not know what I was doing. But I ended up just using Lovable and just writing like prompts and stuff. So last week I pitched to you guys my app called Lumi, and I asked you guys, you know, how many of us are familiar with like, you know, looking at your to-do list and then just thinking, yeah, maybe tomorrow, because you know you're not upset, you're not sad, you know, you're just in a slump. And it's not bad enough that you need therapy, but maybe a semblance of sorts. And so the purpose of therapy, if you guys are unfamiliar, is to analyze patterns in your own life, and then based off of that, adapt and change your behavior to have an improved quality of life. And so I thought maybe an app can help you with that. And so I created Lumi. It gives you a wellness score based off of data like from extracted from the health app on iPhone, or that would be the intended goal. I have big data. And so it, it shows you your trends, so your mood and your sleep, and it gives you a wellness score. And each week you can check in with this little bar here and then submit it. And then if you scroll down, it gives you your today's insight. Wellness is looking strong, keep up with small, consistent habits. And remember that small steps compound big changes. There's also a chat feature. It's not like actually functional, but like I wanted it to look like it for this. So say you can say like maybe I'm tired, like you're just not feeling it today. And then it's supposed to give you like something that's kind of inaccurate right now, but it's just to, like facilitate that. But
Keep celebrating.
yeah. Anyways, then it gives you personalized suggestions. So it gives you 3 different things. One of them is an actionable step that you can take. One of them is a reflection you can write about in your journal, and the other one reinforces positive behavior by telling you to like, keep it up. And there's a journal at the bottom. You can also view your stats, so maybe your average mood, average sleep, average steps, and the badges you earn in a given month or week. It gives you wellness score trends, sleep patterns, mood patterns, and the one thing that I feel like distinguishes this app from like other wellness apps is that it analyzes your behavior and then gives you insights. And so it highlights some correlations between sleep and mood, stress and mood, activity and wellness, and then it gives you an insight. So for example, your data shows that prioritizing sleep has the strongest impact on your mood. And so maybe consider practicing your bedtime, protecting your bedtime to maintain your wellness momentum. And then it also gives you badges based off streaks and habits that you've been continuing. And then it also shows you lock badges so you can be motivated to work towards them. But anyways, that's me. Guys.
Awesome. And what's your background and major? Or what's your major? What'd you build it in?
I'm an econ major, and I built it in Lovable. And I use like chat to like help me formulate a prompt for Lovable, but I didn't really get farther than that.
And for like the sleep data and steps, is it just kind of putting placeholder data in there now?
Yeah. The goal is to like extrapolate that data from the health app, but I wasn't able to do that. So.
The insight, where did that come from?
So the goal would for like the insight to be based off of data that it extrapolates from the health app. So based off of your patterns, what like combination of different things. So for example, maybe improved sleep as well as more activity, so more steps, will lead to like increased mood. And then whenever we're in a better mood, then we're able to be more productive in our daily lives and stuff like that.
Awesome. That's good. Thanks. My name is Ishan. I'm a computer science major, just first back. 2 summers ago, I did an internship at KPMG as a data architecture / engineering. It was like almost a made-up name. But what I was doing was just data manipulation and analysis. But as a CS major, I had no clue what I was looking at. So I thought that this would be really useful, especially because I was given all sorts of volumes of data that all had like links together. However, it was really difficult to find those links. So that's what kind of inspired this idea. So I have like some sample data right here. Basically what this platform will do is you can upload like CSVs or hopefully in the future like databases and stuff like that. It'll create like a map to visualize the relationships between everything, and then it'll also show like links between different data sets and all that. And then you can get AI insights. So I asked chat to give me like some sample data, which it gave me like products, orders, and customers, which we can just upload over here. And then we can generate a knowledge graph. And what this will do is it'll create a relationship over here. As you can see, we can see relationships between orders and products. It shows like the product ID, and then we go 1, and then it'll show orders to customers. And then it'll give some insights to the data, like things that like might not like be
initially, but like you can see that it shows customers data set includes an inactive customer. This can be important for analyzing sales trends. This is not deterministic, so every time that you upload the data, it'll like create different insights based on AI, and then you can also ask it things. This I was having some issues with like earlier today, so it's not working anymore, but it was working at some point. Now it's just not working. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it.
And this is lovable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the idea of like, I have the bunch of this data, help me make sense of it. Like tell me what are the relationships, what's interesting, or like, I think that's great use for it. Really interesting use case.
Basically.
Quick question, one thing, it might be, if you could ask it, here's all this data, and then you're asking what are the relationships, so maybe you want to go into a certain area. So you might be able to put in, either generalized, relationship or specifically about X. I think might be a little more.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was trying to do with like the chat part, which we can try it out. But like over here, it can be like, are there any anomalies? Kind of like what it's kind of thing. Or like, let's say like asked about like, oh, are there any shipments that can't go based on the supply? So that's kind of like the idea behind that part. But yeah, that's kind of like this one side.
Where does the data graph come from?
It's connected. It was also made using like Three.js, which is like, it's just it's creating like from each of the data sets that we input, it's creating some type of connection over here, and then using Three.js to visualize it.
So it's matching on common data?
Yeah, it's matching. So like over here, because I didn't link anything over here. It detected it by itself, and it'll show what the connections are based off of. So orders to products ID or products, it's via the product ID. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, so it found that product ID was common between those two things. Customer ID was common between these two things, and then it shows a relationship.
I guess one other piece of I like doing that, but when I just look at the picture, it doesn't actually tell me what you've got down below. It'd be nice if I could see that from the picture.
Yeah, so I was trying to tweak Lovable to do that. Because having a lot of issues with Three.js, especially because like I started initially with the Three.js thing and just had issues with that. Like, what I really wanted to do was similar to like, I don't know if you use like Alteryx or anything like that, but you can like create the links that way. I wanted to automatically generate those. So that's kind of what the idea was for this, and then just made it come out that way.
All right, thanks. Got two more? And is there anybody that was waiting to do one towards the end? Wanna line up now? We got a whole bunch more.
Okay, so my name is Vincent, and just to give you a little bit of some background, I came up with this idea literally 5 minutes after class started, so I vibe coded it like on the fly, and this is my demo for it. And so kind of like the previous thing, like prediction markets are blowing up. Like everyone wants to get in on the contracts, everyone wants to predict something. But if you think about it, if you go to Polymarket and Kalshi, you can only say yes or no to just any single contract. And coming from like the world of trading stocks and stuff, there's a whole class of things called derivatives, like options, futures, swaps, and I wanted to bring that to prediction markets where we can actually create a marketplace for those derivatives and let people trade those. And so this is my product Hyperfund. And so what it does is it scrapes through all the popular markets like Polymarket here. There's some Kalshi in here, and it scrapes the most popular contracts. And the first feature is it allows you to build like an ETF of various contracts. So if I want to like do like a Super Bowl contract, but I want to weight it to like 56% and then add maybe a Spotify one, just a random combo, and I want to say this is my ETF, I can create it and add it to my portfolio, which shows up here. In addition to that, you can just go through all the various contracts as sorted by like categories. You can just look at the different contracts. This is what I'm most like, this is what the biggest part of this product is the derivatives lab. And so this will let you build like any type of derivative based on the underlying contract. So for the example, I have a Super Bowl 2026, if I want to build like a spread, I can change like the various parameters for it, mess around with how like the option graph looks, and then create a position for it and add it to my portfolio. I can do this for any type of derivatives. So this is, for example, options. I can do it for futures, swaps, and then I can just build leverage. So if I wanted to short the contract by 2 times, but only putting 1 times my money, I can do that here. And my goal with this was to just make this its own like kind of platform, like a secondary market, where if people want to go beyond just like the basic level of contracts, they can add leverage and they can use those tools that professional hedge funds use and that most traders like to use. In the future, I want to build like a community platform where people can post their ETFs, post their options, so we can actually have like a community of trading each other on these secondary prediction markets.
Awesome. All right, I want to keep this moving because we got a bunch more people lined up. Really good job. Good job doing it on the fly. And I think I think the whole concept's really interesting, and yeah, I'm impressed that you did that quickly.
Yeah, thank you. I'm a computer science major, and I built this in Lovable with a PRD from ChatGPT.
Similarly, oh, hey guys, my name is Perry. And similarly, like the other gentleman, I created this in the past 20 minutes with vibe coding. And if I was a founder, if I took this class and took all of Josh's wisdom and all the other mentors, I was like, if I want to be a founder, how can I have a workspace for this? Kind of like Trello and like Slack and a couple other things all in one, right? So a dashboard of the highlights of me as a founder and like my employees, revenue growth, yada, yada, yada. And then the task manager is similar to Trello, you can say. To-dos, in progress, done. Anyone who's investing, I wish I prompted Josh Beer as an investor, but we'll get that next round. And yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. All right, very cool. I'm impressed with the hustle of like starting stuff during class. If you're in line and you have something to present that you worked on this week before class, please come to the front of the line. If it's something that you did during class, I will look at it, but you should let the people that did something before class go first. So good job, that was cool. Let's do the next one. Like I said, yeah, let's prioritize if you've had something coming into class. Clap.
Okay, hi y'all, my name is Lily, and a few weeks ago I pitched this idea for an app. It was called Revest then, it's called Revitalist now. The name is in progress. But basically the point of this app is 2 things, and it was to have an AI stylist just in your pocket, really easy to make your outfits, and then the other portion of it was to give you a report about what you're wearing and maybe some things you should get rid of and all that, so I'll just show you instead of explaining. So this is going to be the home page. This is where you upload photos. Since this is on my computer right now, I can only upload pictures of my outfits that I already have, but on your phone you'd be able to just use your camera to take a picture. This is a function that's been a little bit problematic. It's not really taking the like the clothing items out very well. Like, it's not really extracting them well, but I'll just show you so far what it's done. So once you do that, here's my closet. Some of these I've put in manually, so there's a manual option just in case you don't have a picture of something or it's not really showing up. So this is everything that I've put in so far. Something that I like that I put in here is this little location icon to say if it's in your closet, in storage, if you have like summer clothes in storage, and then borrowed is a big one for me because I lend my clothes out a lot and then I forget. So this would be really helpful, and then it will give you a notification in a week if you haven't changed it back to in closet or in storage, so you remember, which would be very nice for me. You can also sort it, color, category, whatever you want to do there. And then this is easier to show you first. So this is the statistics on my wearing of all of these items, and so I've downloaded just a mock report. It would look hopefully a little more cleaner than this, but it would be a quarterly wear report if you had the highest level of membership. And so you can see here it's showing me these are the things I've worn the most. These I'm not really wearing, and then it will tell me how I might wear it with things that I already own. And these are the things I'm never wearing and how I can sell them to get the most money. So it's looked on these 3 platforms, which are the most popular resale platforms in my opinion. And so like the cowboy boots are more expensive, and the RealReal is a better place for something at that cost. But these are more like a rare, anyways, you get the point. It's kind of like analyzing things that have sold online, just like some general tips at the bottom for fun. And then these are my sustainability impact statistics, and so that's really nice. And then the last thing I'll show you here is the stylist. I'll do just like a question so y'all can see how it works. The point of this, if I were to spend longer than a few days on it, is I would love to make my own LLM based on, I would like to spend a long time training one and creating a new one, because I don't think that if you are going to ask one that exists the same questions, it's not going to be the best advice, in my opinion. This is all kind of like, this is something I want. It's for people interested in fashion, and so I don't think that the current AI models actually have good style for obvious reasons. So I'm going to ask a question. Okay, just asked about a skirt that I already own. Here we go. It's going to spit out 3 options for me really quickly. That took like 2 seconds. Like I mentioned, this isn't really trained like to the quality that I would like it to be, but that's something that's going to take a really long time. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Very cool. And your background and what you built this in?
I'm a communications major. This class is the first time I've ever done something like this, so that's why I was using Lovable, just because I'd been more comfortable with it since this class. But if anyone in here wants to take on a more computer science focused project like this, I'd love to actually build it out.
And then is the idea that you would like take a picture every day of what you're wearing?
Yeah,
That's
so
how it gets, like, what
yeah,
you're
when I
wearing.
pitched it, I mentioned to y'all like when you're running out the door, you'd be able to just take a picture
Yeah.
of it, and I think that would take time for this to learn how to actually extract the items. But I also, have a ton of pictures in my camera roll, and so once you downloaded the app, ideally you'd be able to upload 100 pictures of things that you already, pictures of you just in general, in any setting, and it would be able to extract all of those pieces individually.
In general, if you know these are the only things I'm looking for, like here are the things in my pictures and the things in my closet, that makes the problem simpler a little bit, so it might be able to be better. Yeah, I think this is really cool. I think all of this that you did, it may sound more intimidating, but like doing this as an actual iPhone app will just make it a little smoother and make like the uploading the pictures and taking like the reminder to like remind me to take my picture in the morning, like or things like that, or even when I leave my house, like location based, all even easier. But I think it's really cool. And then the more that, kind of like everything else we said, the more that you just make this really easy. Like you want someone to use this every day. That would make it better. And on the AI suggestions at the end, like if that could show you pictures too.
Yeah, I tried to do that, and they were just like
Terrible.
totally wonky. It was it was very random AI generated pictures, so that didn't quite work, but ideally it would.
Yeah. Eric and Mike?
I like it. I was wondering about how to track what you're wearing, because as you run out the door, I have to remind you like the location of your phone, and maybe you might want to when you borrow clothes from someone else, that reminds you to return.
Yeah, I was wondering if there might be kind of like some sort of interactive feature. I didn't want to add on too much now, but just to like retain customers and all the time. People often like sharing their outfits, and there's a ton of apps for that. So.
You could share with a couple of friends, so you say you can borrow this from your friend.
Oh, like share closets, like you could do. Okay, I like that. Sure.
And also, I think that's a really good suggestion.
Yeah, that's a great
And
idea.
tying into the like what to wear thing. Another thing, if you start to have it, is just be like, show me things I haven't worn lately, and then you maybe mix that with things my friends have or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Wow, 2 hours of demos. Good job. Lots of people did demos.
Hi all, my name is Abdullah and I'm demoing an idea that I pitched a while back in this class. I'm naming the next step, haven't fully finalized the name yet, but essentially is a way to streamline your networking efforts for job recruitment. Nowadays, just applying to jobs doesn't get you to any place. You have to network and actually get in the door and get some interviews through that. So from the dashboard approach, also for continuing, there were some bugs that appeared right before class on this. I'm going to show some parts of it on Google Doc with old screenshots that I took. But essentially the parts that are working right now is kind of the dashboard approach where you can see the contacts you reached out to, email sent, meeting scheduled, and recent activity in terms of emails you sent to people. From the sourcing tab, this is a very key feature for people that are looking to network with people in certain industries, such as IB analysts in New York that are UT Austin alumni. And then whenever it goes through the actual search, it will look for people with that criteria and also for people that have something in common with you. So essentially,
Sorry, what is it searching over? LinkedIn?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, there are restrictions on LinkedIn scraping, so I'm going about it from an indirect way. But essentially, it will search for people that fit that criteria. And additionally, it will search for people that have something in common with you. So when you first log on, you will give the platform your resume, your interests, your hobbies, your desired career paths, and then it will accordingly search for people that have something in common with you and bring those to the top. So now, 5 results that I generated show me people that fit that criteria. I can go through their LinkedIn, see their LinkedIn profile in depth, and also be able to, from there, generate a personalized email for them. This is where I got some bugs earlier today. I'm going to show that feature in
Sorry, real quickly, it's searching all of this, does all of this break for LinkedIn terms of service?
No, this doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, and then from here, are you searching, do you know if I'm connected to them at all? Like how close they are to me?
So that function I'm planning on adding in a bit, because that's basically network graphing, which...
Yeah, because that'd be really cool as the next part if it's like, show me them and which ones I'm closest to.
Exactly, that's the end goal of it, yes. And so after, you can generate an email that, generate a personalized email for them. So instead of you having to manually type out every single email, the software will generate a personalized email for you that puts in what you have in common with them, generates a few good times that you can chat with that particular person, and it builds a Gmail API natively in the software for you to send emails directly from here. After you send that email, then you can keep track of the email in the actual email tracker tab. Over here you can see when you've gotten responses, see where the email is in terms of the next steps, when to follow up, replying to email, prepping for the call. And then from there, what Josh mentioned on a more of a VC approach to it, of keeping track of your network and seeing who to connect to. When you chat with someone over call, you can keep track of that person in the network tab, and just keep more information on who they are, tags on that particular person. Also, you can paste your Google Doc of notes from that call and paste it in here, and it will auto-generate all those fields for you in here. And so that's essentially the product as of right now. I am building a few, like Josh mentioned, network graphing feature on top, as well as a feature to be able to be like an overall email assistant like Fixer AI or Superhuman does as of right now. And also adding like an AI chatbot, which I'm working on, and being able to give you interactive feedback as you go through your college career on what you should be doing at that point in time, and things of that sort. I've done quite a few discovery calls for this, probably 40, 50 plus students that are willing to pay money for their recruitment efforts. And of course, the B2B market of being able to sell to campuses at some point is also pretty...
So your target market is students looking for people at companies to try to get jobs?
Exactly, yeah.
I think that's a really cool, good use case that you know. I think there might be more valuable use cases too.
From the
same tool.
Yeah, I feel like like a
For
overall
sales or things like that, you know, like.
Yeah, my goal isn't to target the B2B sales market because there's so many tools out there already for that, but that is definitely like a adjacent use case, I would say. Yeah, and if there's anyone that is passionate about this type of work and wants to partner, let me know. I'm always looking for people to chat with. All right, thank you. Any comments? Love any feedback.
It seems very functional.
Yeah. I think it's very practical for the students looking to make connections, right? So that's kind of the connection.
Yeah, awesome. All right, cool. Thank you.
Was that level?
Oh yeah, so first level and
Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine, and I developed Serum. Essentially, especially when I was younger, I've noticed that there are a lot of health complications, especially with my parents. And specifically with my dad, he suffers from high blood pressure, and my dad's dad actually passed away early due to high blood pressure complications. And so did my dad's grandpa. So I wasn't going to stand by and let that happen to my dad or my brother. So I developed an application called Serum. So here, once you sign in with your email, you can click sign in. And first it's going to ask you a couple of questions, such as basic, just foundational medical data. So name, age, weight in kilograms, height in centimeters, gender, type of diabetes, duration of diabetes, glucose monitoring period, and whether you have a history of heart or stroke. So the purpose behind this is I also coded a machine learning model that takes in all of this foundational data, as well as data from a Kaggle data set, and essentially tells you the risk of periods of very low or high blood sugar. So if I could just input really quickly. So once I input that data, it takes me to a dashboard. And this framework is supposed to be designed for a phone app, because that's what most people use to track their data. So this dashboard, the first thing that it shows you is your blood glucose data. I already imported a CSV of the data beforehand. So once I click on the blood glucose levels, it shows you some of your history, and also some of your recent readings. And then it also shows you some insights. So we can click out of that. It also gives you measurements on your heart rate and blood pressure. You can click on either one of these to show the history. And then once you scroll down, this is the risk score that I was talking about for hypoglycemia. And so here, given the information that I presented earlier, it says I have a pretty low risk for hyperglycemia. And then next we see some more blood glucose details. And then it also is taking into account sleep, activity, last meals for now. I
think the biggest difference between my application and current applications that exist is I'm not only tracking the past history, I'm also trying to implement measures to prediction for the future. Yeah, and so another thing that it does is I was trying to implement a ChatGPT API. And so once you go over here, you can ask Saram some questions. So again, the biggest advantage of my application is the personalization. It's really hard to just look at your glucose data and think, oh, maybe last week my glucose data was pretty high, or after I ate this meal it went up a little bit. But in terms of cases where you're dealing with life or death, having that specificity is very, very critical. So here I can ask it, oh, how did sleep affect glucose? Oh, it was working like 10 minutes earlier, but essentially it would just answer the questions as Chatlet. So yeah, that's pretty much the application that I did.
Super cool. And your major and platform?
I'm a biomedical engineering major, so really passionate about health. And for platform, for the UI, I use Figma, and then just Cursor with Kaggle data sets for the machine learning part.
Like that?
It's just for diabetes?
That's our starting. I think diabetes, I just have a personal connection to it. But in the future, I want it to be something like a digital twin for your body. And so we're starting with the heart and tracking that data, but I'm open to expanding.
Yeah, I like it's easy to, the way you're presenting the data, it's quick and easy, see it all little, just have to, you don't have to read it, just look at it.
Thank you so much. A lot of the time is spent on the UI, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think UI is beautiful, actually, really nice. That said, that to me is a lot of what you're displaying there is stuff that I can find other places, like on my phone.
Yeah.
So as much as like I think you did a great job making it look really nice, I'm like, that wasn't the part that like got me most excited because I can do that other places. There's a lot I really like about this. I love the digital twin idea. I'm not sure where you've heard that, but I hear that a lot in business and in AI and in like making digital twins of like cars and airplanes and things like that. And I'm sure that in health they've done this, but the idea of being able to make a personal digital twin of your body and then, like you said, like predict what's going to happen, which is what we use digital twins for. It's like super, like, again, I'm sure, I can't imagine this is the first time anyone's ever thought of it, but I haven't seen it, and like, that makes a lot, like, that's really smart. It makes a lot of sense. And then I really like the idea of predicting like how things are going to affect your likelihood to be sick. And so I would really emphasize that in the UI much more, rather than like things I can maybe find elsewhere. Is the things that you're only bringing, that you're unique about, which are like, and to me, what like would get super impactful is like, last night you didn't get much sleep, and that increased your likelihood of this by this much. You know?
Exactly.
And then like, you know, if you get a really good night's sleep tonight, you know, like for the next week, it'll like make you live 10 minutes longer. I don't know, you know, like, right? Like at some level, like that's what you want, right? It's like if you get a good night's sleep all week, you're gonna live 10 minutes longer. Like that, you know, or you will, you know, reduce your likelihood of having a heart attack by this much if you got this much exercise this week. And I know that's probably really hard to say, but I would find that really compelling if you could say that. And so that's what really stuck out to me about this was like the digital twin and the ability to like predict things and say like, if you do this, either something good will happen or something bad will happen.
Yeah, and that's I love that. Piggybacking on that, you have so you can take a picture of a cupcake and say, oh, this will do that.
And I'm tracking the diet.
You're tracking the diet, but even before they eat it, you can say, what is this going to do to me? Right?
Yeah.
I have
This is the talk me out of it app.
That's what
Talk me out of it.
And also,
so I think one of the special things about yours is, so unlike other recommendations, like your close to mass, like this is actually coming close to medical advice. And so like talking about the models you think underneath
which model that I wanted to prioritize and make, and also where to spend my time with the UI as well. This was actually this is like my demo part of it, so this isn't actually presented or backed by medical research, but it's the next thing that I want to work on, and it's addressing the patterns. And so if you look at my patterns, it'll say like, oh, if you noticed 12 times a month I had late high carb dinners, or if I walk after dinner, the average morning glucose is this, or if I have a shorter sleep, what happens? And so I really want to be able to implement like the biggest advantage of this, which is the personalization.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you so much.
We're running low on time, so we've got 3 more, including this one. I'm going to call it that, just to make sure we're staying close here.
Hey Josh, so last year I really struggled with recruiting. I wasn't getting any calls back. So I built like a tool to help students recruit, kind of like a DOLA. But instead of like going this route and like connecting with people on LinkedIn, you know, ask for coffee chats, was trying to do referrals, was trying to turn interviews, I was like, what if I just like apply like 10,000 times and then like I have to like get an interview, right? So I built like an AI agent that applies to jobs for you. So I like recorded a demo on how it works. Basically type in like the role you want to apply for, what kind of position, like how recent the job was posted, location, you upload your resume, and then it goes on LinkedIn and applies for jobs for you. And then like if you leave this running overnight, like for a week, theoretically you can like send out like 10,000 applications.
Cool.
Yeah, that's about it.
How's this working?
Yeah, of course. So this was like 9 months ago when like AI agents just came out, like web browser agents. So there's this library called Browser Use, but it's like a fully functional library for like anything that you can do, like buying plane tickets, buying groceries. But because the technology was so new at the time, I just put a lot of guardrails to make it like really good for job applying. So I directed straight to LinkedIn, and then whatever they put in like the boundary boxes, it changes the URL, and then just like reduce the number of steps with AI and put like really strict guardrails so that like it only does applications. Yeah.
Cool. What's next with this?
I'm sorry.
What are you gonna do next with this?
I actually tried to do this as a startup because my thesis was like, I think that job application is pretty stupid because like they just serve as another step to like filter out people based on their resume, but like it's kind of like a bad like heuristic, right? So I was like, what if everyone just like overloads the box and like somehow a better way of like filtering applicants will come through, right? But
I'm not sure if that'll really make you look good. You know that guy that got busted for like having like 15 different jobs at all these different
so
jobs?
Humphrey.
Yeah. It's like did it really help him in the end or not? I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah.
But,
all right. Cool. All right, we got to keep moving. Good job. Thank you. Right. The only way to win is not to play. Right. Have you ever demoed before?
I have not. Probably for good reason.
Because you pitched almost every single time. I'm excited. All right, let's see it.
Sweet. Okay, guys, story time. So I'm in student government, and I have a gala going on, and a big thing with a lot of these events is you have to go get dinner first, and then you go to the event. So here I am, boom, perfect, Great Gatsby, crazy stuff. 8 p.m., perfect, I'm the planner, I'm gonna go and do it. So first thing I do, I go to Open Table, and I'm like, okay, I need a restaurant, I need to go in Austin, training in Austin, perfect. 8 people, great. It's at what time again? Let's see. It's at 8 p.m. So I need to make sure I'm like eating around like 6 o'clock. So I'm gonna see what's available around then in Austin. Here I go. Oh, beautiful. We love open table, right? This is the big official. This is the big guy that's going on right now. I'm gonna look, 6 o'clock, perfect. Seeing some times. Okay, but now what's the next big thing to think about? How far is it from my venue? Like everything is perfect up until I'm like, wait, where is this? And how far is it from the place I need to go to? So I'm like squinting. I'm like, okay, this is like here. Now I'm going here. Okay, J Prime Steakhouse at 6 o'clock. Okay, so I'm going to Google directions. I'm putting J Prime. I'm going, okay, perfect. San Jacinto. Okay, how far is it? What time is it? 14 minutes, 16. I'm going back and forth between all these locations and the times to figure out how far away this restaurant is from my venue. And that's the big issue I'm finding with a lot of these events you have to go to. It's like booking the thing before and then going to the next thing. So basically, Oblo job is to just take that into consideration, so you don't have to worry about the distance and the time it takes you to get there. So it's just like, only show me the places at 6 o'clock that are available that are going to get me there on time. Do not show me the place at 4 o'clock or the place at 8 o'clock when it starts. Like, just show me that. So I'm like, oh, I have to go to my SG thing. It's at, called the Mansion or whatever. What a fancy name, the Mansion. I love that. Can I even spell? Okay, I'm going to copy and paste this. So I'm not going back and forth between like 50, between Google Maps, and then I'm going to Open Table. I'm just going to one thing. Perfect. Just show me this. It's on Friday. What day is Friday, y'all? Friday, 21, 2025. And I want to get, where do I get to my venue? I want to get there at 8 o'clock p.m. I'm going to Uber there because I don't want to drive. That's lame. In heels? No, thank you. And now it's just going to show me the times at 6 o'clock, the most reasonable times that are going to get me there on time. So I'll be there at 7:45 when I get there. So I don't have to worry about going back and forth between Google Maps, between Open Table. And the next thing is trying to get this thing to get Open Table just to click on it. It did it for a little bit, then it went away. So sad, so scary. CS is scary, guys. Things go away. What? But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you.
Cool. Great job. Really cool. Very specific problem, but I can see where lots of people have it. It makes it really easy. I guess at first I was like, can't they just make the search in Open Table better? But when you got to the last page, I was like, all right, that page is really useful actually. So I thought about it. Yes.
So I see your API and your Open Table, and you actually getting Uber, or you just doing a distance, or how's this actually working in the cover?
The goal eventually is to get Uber and to get all of them configured into one platform, so it's just easier just to plan all those events for people that have to do all
how is
hosting
it,
stuff.
how is it doing it now?
I think it's I think it's Open Table. I think it's Google Maps.
Or maybe just mapping it. Yeah, probably just mapping it. And what'd you build this in?
This is Replit.
And for the interstate major?
I'm public health.
And then the other one is we've got this one over here, we've got all the choices.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can pull the choices tables back in there, populate them more, or kind of quickly bounce back or something. If you wanted to, what is this? I don't know. And you'll check and see what that restaurant is before you pick one. Cool.
Nope. Look at that. You got a really good clap.
Okay, I'm gonna go super fast. You showed
Last but not least.
Alright, so I already showed you guys the workout calorie tracking part, but this is the workout portion of the app, and basically, if you want to start a workout, you go in there, there's a timer that's gonna come up, and you can choose your rest timer, and essentially you go from there, you can add your exercises. So say if I was doing a full body workout, I would go and I would look for the exercises. Say I was to try to do like bench press first. This is just a database of all the different types of workouts you could do.
You're building a workout now?
Yeah, so it's like while you enter the gym, and you start
right
your
now
workout.
I'm gonna go do this.
What you said?
You're like, right now I'm going to do this next
Yeah,
exercise.
yeah. So this is like during the workout or right before. You can also edit it while you're working out if you wanted to add more exercises, because like sometimes some machines are already taken up. And there's a live timer, so as soon as your set is done, it'll automatically start the live timer. So like if you want like 2 minutes, but yeah, then it's gonna basically add all of these to the workout. And the point is that we want you guys to progressively overload your muscles. So it'll show under bench press, it already shows my former weight that I did last workout. So you can see it said like 175, 185. So those are working sets. Next one, say I hit 195, or like I add another weight and put like some more reps. Basically, it'll give you a notification that you just got a new PR, and the point is it's supposed to be motivating you to like continue doing that, and just keep on doing that for the whole workout. Finishes that, saves the data, so the next time you come in, it's going to be the same thing. And the other ones that say 0, just I haven't done them yet. And this is kind of our bread and butter right here. This is our physique grading part. So this is just a calendar of the screen. So the point is you want to scan your physique every day to see like visual progress of where your muscles are building. This is like how it's supposed to be used right here. So it'll have a overall score, a potential score, and it'll rate your muscle fullness and your body fat percentage. So that's what it looks like with the user what it receives. And this is also gives you like some weak points based on your physique. So whatever it calculated.
So how much of this is real? Like, I mean, it's like, this is all video, so like, how much of this app works?
Yeah, so it's actually on the App Store right now. So that was actually one of our...
The physique thing works? Like, it takes a
Yeah,
picture?
yeah, that was actually one of our influencers who's promoting it. So, yeah, and the last part is just like a progress chart where you just upload your data and stuff like that. But yeah, that's about it.
Wow. And this is something you've been working on all semester?
Yeah.
Yeah. Super cool. It looks really well done. I think there's a lot of fitness apps, and it's hard to make these things stand out, but it looks really easy to me, and like easy to use, and like I like the little features of like remembering what I did for this exercise last time and things like that. I can see being really handy. Like I think that's pretty cool. What's your major and what do you go this in?
I'm a neuroscience major. We put this on Cloud Code and GPT-5.
How many other people working on it?
Just me and my roommate.
Yeah, cool. Questions for you guys? All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, we've lost a couple people. We got most of them. Give us like 3 minutes to conspire about to announce the winner. And Anjali, maybe you can like buy some time.
Because you know it's over. You know it's over. Like one of them,
And then I fall down. Well, did I get back up? Right? But everyone was there we go. But somehow
All right, you guys ready? Well, thank you, Eric and Mike, for sitting through 2 hours of demos, a little bit more. And Eric's been sitting here through many of the classes too, just pitching in and advising and helping where he could. So thank you, Eric. Thank you, Anjali, for being actually one of my best TAs ever. She's really super on it. Thank you. Thank you, Eli, Megan, and Les, everybody. Okay, so those are obviously like one of the things that I've learned through this is we have a lot of different students in the class coming out of different places, right? So we got a big range of people coming from different places, different things we're trying to do. We're focused on different areas. We had some things that people have been working on all semester, other things people built during class. You know, like there was a little range. There's quite a range there too. And I'm up for all of it. You know, like for me, this whole class was as I told you, was an experiment too. So this is really interesting to learn. And honestly, like my first inclination was to like see what you guys just did on your own without having a super well defined, without it being very well defined as far as what you had to do or how you got graded. So that's also been really interesting for me to learn from. But in this case, as we looked at it, there's a tie. There were two that really stuck out. So we're gonna split the baby. And unfortunately, it's demo, not $1,000 bill, so we can split it. Again, we did see a range of some people that took on maybe more technical things, and some of it was even maybe hard to demo or you'd see behind the hood, but we had some hints into. Other people that were much more focused on the product and the vision and how the flow and the user experience. And so the two winners are Saram, and Pookie. Where are you guys? So there, Saram. I thought those were both really great. Everybody did a great job. Those both were, I think, pretty well thought out, pretty complete solutions. Like they went from beginning to end. They also involved some pretty complex things that they were trying to get accomplished along the way, and took an innovative, different approach to what they were doing. Each of them was kind of like a new idea, something we hadn't really seen before. So I think those are all the reasons why they really stuck out. But great job to everybody, and really appreciate everyone being part of it this semester. Give me your Venmos for the winners, wherever you are, anything else? If you have, then yeah, I guess we still have a little bit of time before the end of the semester. I'm sure people have questions about grading and stuff like that. That's another thing we have a wonderful TA for. I'll take the first point on all those. We'll be working to get all this done and get this submitted for everybody in time too. So thanks so much. Awesome. You got a mouthful?
Yeah.
Hey. Hey, come here.
Okay.
I don't know if we're gonna see each other, but yeah, definitely keep up. Like, yeah, you got like my message. Yeah, we have to